What's up? So today is Wednesday. I believe it's the 27th, and I've just been having a lot of in-depth conversations lately with a lot of things that's happening in life. It's inevitable. I've been dealing with a death of my grandmother and also dealing with the death of my old self. And with that, there's still resonance of that same energy. I've been able to recognize those, and also with recognizing, learn how it is that I want to adjust and modify and enhance myself in my life journey. And through that, it comes with uncertainties. Through that, it comes with conflict and imbalances. And overall, I feel like the way that I've grown through that is to just be able to acknowledge it all. So with that, I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to express my perception. And again, I'm thankful to everyone that will watch this video. Like I mentioned, I don't do these videos necessarily for the people that watch it at this point. What really motivates me is to really hear how I feel, and also time mark my place and my mindset in this time. And with that, I can also say that I'm always honest and genuine about how I feel, and my intention is only to project that, not to debate or not to make others feel like their perception is wrong either. And that's one of the reasons why I keep it very vague and detailed, but definitely give enough detail to where you understand where I'm coming from. So the topic I wanted to talk about today is willpower. Willpower to me is the base. Just like faith and just like knowing your why behind anything, the willpower is the base, because without that, your faith and your why will not have enough endurance to get you to where you're trying to go. And willpower to me is something that others would say has to be consistent, but to me it's very conditional. It moderates with the seasons and the phases of this world. And willpower to me is just knowing where I'm going. So willpower to me is not what I do every day. Willpower is, to me, is acknowledging what I'm doing and how that's going to affect to where I want to go in the future. And today I've had a conversation with my girl and my sister just about understanding what it is that I desire in life, and modifying that in other people's perspective, because willpower a lot of times can be filtered by ego or filtered by desires that may be fear-based. It may be in a lack mentality, in my perception, because of the fact that you always feel like you need to grow towards something, and a lot of times that's what fuels the willpower or the motivation to do something. And with me, that's one of the reasons why I like to moderate the energy that I put into willpower, because I believe that if you still have the mindset every day of what it is that you want, then there's no way that you cannot obtain it. I feel like with that, you're going to start to manifest uncertainties or uncomforts, or just things that align with you, and comforts and communications that'll help you grow. So as I grow with the willpower, I'm learning to realize that it's aligned with a lot of the other elements that I mentioned, faith and the why. Because when it comes to faith, a lot of times with willpower, you're working towards something that you don't know exactly where it's going to lead to. A lot of times when you're dealing with faith and dealing with the reality of what's now, because faith is just almost like an illusion of what it is that you want, or the illusion of trusting in higher powers or other entities that may be seen and unseen to help you get where you need to go before it's actually there in the physical realm. So the way that I would say willpower associates with faith would be in a way where willpower moderates. Faith is something that's unseen, but the trust element that goes into both of those elements and allow them to coincide makes for the drive and the motivation for me. And I would say that it just shows me myself. It shows me when I'm at my lowest points, because when those things are lacking or imbalanced, that's one of the distinction factors. And the way that I feel is not just about what I do at that point. It's going to show in the way that I feel once I wake up in the morning, or when I go to sleep, or what I attract because of that. And I'm just so humbled by this journey, and knowing that it's imperfect, that my why is something that I rely on more than my faith when I don't have the energy to believe in the unseen. And my why coincides with all those other elements because of the fact that sometimes my willpower is not, like when I mentioned it moderates and is not at its highest potential. My why is the trinity for me that helps me keep pushing, whether I have to accommodate for the imbalances and trying to make this work. And this is a manifestation of this. So let's use YouTube videos. My why, wanting to express myself in timestamp my mental at this level, is not just for other people to see it, because if that was the case, I would have stopped a long time ago when I was only receiving 1 view. Now maybe it'll be up to 4 views, or whatever the case may be, and I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful for that, but I'm also thankful for the fact that I'm able to project myself to millions of people, whether they watch it or not. My why is to be able to express myself, and that is something that's here for sure. So again, with the Trinity, I want to mention willpower as something that's a necessity within that, because it's kind of like having a car with no gas. So I would say the car is something that's physical, so the car is the why. Then I would say the faith is the wheels. So if you have a car with no wheels, you can't get anywhere. But once you have the car and the wheels, you can get somewhere. But without that gas, which is the willpower, you would not really, you can think about where you're going to go, but you can't really put that into action. So those 3 essential things at this point in my life is something that's really been holding me grounded in my dreams. And in these times, it's been a lot of people that's been conflicting and forcing me to step outside of just my boundaries of thinking. And it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful because sometimes I'm learning that I'm able to disconnect from others, and whether that's ego or not, the ability to disconnect from things that don't align to me is a beautiful transition from what I've grown through. And that's only because of my why, and because of me understanding that faith is going to align me to what's right. So that place for me is just as essential as the things that I can expect in the future. But where I'm at right now, and just growing through the uncomfort, I would say that those 3 essential things keep me grounded, because of the fact that it gives me something to look forward to. These videos and my why, like I mentioned, having to have some form of a structure to post it every Friday, whether I'm by myself, whether I'm incorporating other elements of my time, or just doing what I'm doing right now, finding a good place to really just speak what's on my mind, whether I'm writing it down and having a structure to teach, or if I'm just allowing it to influence. It's showing me myself, and the only way I'm able to produce this is through willpower. I have the vessel, I have the mentality. Whether someone may think it's right or wrong, the fact that I'm putting into action is what's right, because if nothing else, it's giving me space to know where I'm at right now, and that's the only way I can know where I'm growing to. It's not about necessarily attacking or attracting anything. It's about being, and my being is finally aligning to how I see myself in my mind. So that's a beautiful thing. And what's gotten me here is willpower. What's gotten me here is faith, spirituality, and breaking down what faith is to me, because it's unseen, and those higher powers and those energies, it's a feeling. And that feeling is something that I can create, and that's why it's so important for you to understand your own power, because if you don't feel like you can create it, you can look on the outer for so many type of answers, and you won't ever be able to be justified, because you always can find more answers and more validations for things that may not even be aligned to you. So you have to just trust in what's best for you. You really have to be motivated to bring to fruition what it is that you imagine for yourself. And those energies that help me believe in that is faith. It's when I pray at night, or when I write, or when I speak in reality before it's manifested. I feel like the faith is what allows things to keep on moving in a direction, whether it's fast or slow. And the willpower is really what's directing the speed of this manifestation. But I know that my time is going to be divine for me, because every day I'm growing. These videos show that. So if you're going to speak on another analogy, I would say The faith aspect is me praying, or the faith aspect is me believing that every day I will be in this same state of knowing and growing and being blessed and comfortable enough to produce this form of creative work. And when it comes to the willpower is something that is like a feeling as well, but it's something that is more manipulated by the outer source. So I would say it would be like a camera, for example, because my camera is not the best quality. It gets altered, it gets battery dies, and that changes and that moderates, but I'm still able to produce because of the faith that I have in my message. And that's something that's on the inner. That's a feeling. So the feeling that I have to motivate myself to come and record these videos regardless of what's going on, that's what contributes to the willpower. And my why, that all connects now. Just seeing how everything is connected? I hope so, because I want to explain these three elements, but definitely speaking on willpower as the driving force behind it, because I can have this mentality and I can have the feeling of wanting to produce this, but if I didn't have this camera, I would not be able to connect to you guys regardless of my why, knowing that I want to timestamp and express myself. The physical aspect of it would be the camera, and the physical aspect in this particular moment would be the camera, or like when I was speaking on the car, it would be the gas. But in reality, your willpower is you. Everybody's life is not for them to express to the world or to try to find any type of form of validation from anybody besides themselves. But with me, I live a different path, and I learn through other people. I grow through other people. So as I grow on my journey, it's not only for me to learn, it's really for me, I believe, to express to other people. If others won't do it, I'm one of those people that will be open to expressing whether I have room to grow or not. And I'm learning that more. So I just wanted to take the time to really express that. And also beyond just the topic of discussion right now, I just want to mention that regardless of what level you're on right now, if you have those three elements and you have life in your soul, then you should always embrace where you are at this point and know that there's room to do what it is that you want to do. It may not be exactly how you expect it, and know that that's the right way to go. If it's exactly how you expect it, then you won't appreciate the journey as much. So allow for the uncertainties to help you grow, Kayla and viewers, and know that the intentions that you put out is what you're going to receive. So if it feels uncomfortable, look to the inner. Look to the inner and know that uncomfort is just new. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. There's no wrong. There's no wrong and there's no right. There's what aligns to you. And that's all that matters.